Dan RadioStyle, hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. I'm sorry I did not get as dolled up today as I normally do. I've kind of had a lot going on work-wise. It's been tough this week. A lot of people we just had to let go, and we've had a few of those meetings that have happened over the last couple days. And again, it's just one of those things it's tough to go through. I don't mean to belittle the fact that these people's lives are changing and that some of us that are getting held back feel a little guilty even, right? So there's a little bit of everything that's kind of mixed into that. We're all doing the best we can. But what it's really come to my mind, or what's really been just thrown in the forefront, is the fact that change is upon us. I don't think there's any other way to view this. I don't believe, and I don't think this is just me seeing crazy stuff. This is a change that's been talked about for years, and it seems to be playing out now. Now, however it is, there's issues with how people are allowed to go in public. We have literally affected the economy of the entire world. We have displaced people. We have caused places that are expecting rent these people aren't going to pay rent. Then you've got landlords that aren't going to be able to pay the mortgage. Then you've got banks that aren't, it's just a cascade of very interesting situations. Unprecedented for sure. Definitely from an outward looking in kind of way. Kind of scary, I guess. But ultimately, it's change. We are evolving as a society right now where a lot of people are learning to work from home that didn't used to think they could. Now they're actually saying, well, we have to, so let's figure out a way. We've got students that are actually, one, being somewhat more homeschooled, two, being virtually taught, not going to the classes, having to actually utilize technology rather than necessarily schools. That's a major change. We've got bandwidth issues with all the internet and everything going on. There is all sorts of aspects of this that are being challenged. I think some jobs are going to disappear. I think some new ones are going to be created. But ultimately, this is a time of change. We are going to come out of this, for sure, better on the other side, without a doubt. Getting through this is going to be a little shaky, but we're all going to be here for each other, one another. Certainly manifesting and everything under the sun. These techniques are still good. It's good to hold kind of that more positive view, hold the focus of where you'd like to ultimately end up, making sure you get into a job or get back into work or figure out a way to be able to work remotely. There's always a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. Where there's a desire and you imagine, things will start to open themselves up. Oddly, being into the stuff I am, like the DJing and all that, it's funny that the company, they literally, my boss, big boss, asked me to kind of do a happy hour thing next Friday to kind of help with morale. And his team is doing the first one. And so he reached out and asked me to help out with this. So I'm kind of initiating essentially an hour-long show, which is going to be kind of fun. So again, life is changing and we need to bend and move with it. I work in IT, putting together a meeting and trying to make it entertaining, although something I like to do on the side is not my normal professional job. Again, we've got to bend. The tree that is too rigid breaks in the wind. We must learn to bend in these changing times, these winds of change that are upon us. This is a great awakening. There's a lot of us that are spending more time at home. We're spending more time with our loved ones. We're spending more time not running around in the rat race. And I think a lot of us are starting to realize what is actually important in life. What really matters? What are the things that we literally can take with us to the other side when our time is up here? And I hope and I think there's a lot of us that are really assessing our relationships with others, family, what we'd like to do long term, what really matters. And does running around and trying to be rich and all these things, do they really matter? I think all of us have varying answers to these questions. I don't think there's one size fits all, but certainly questions that many of us are asking right now. And another thing I think that has really come out that's really important is during these changing times, there is a great deal of information that's coming out about what's happening. And what I found is a large majority of the information that is out there is definitely slanted in the scheme of trying to fear people, trying to scare people. Right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm not here to say if you don't, maybe people would run around and lick each other. Maybe. They might. I don't know. I like to think that people understand the severity of what's going on right now, but I do also realize that there's many people that don't. I also understand that a lot of people have a very strong belief that this is a super negative, end of the world thing that's going on right now. There's a lot of information that would suggest that everybody's getting this and everybody's dying. And that's really not backed by some of the literal statistics. There are fact sites out there that are literally keeping track of all the tests, of all the positives, all the negatives, how many hospitalized, how many dead. And when you really look at the numbers relative to each other properly, it brings the death toll down lower than what they're claiming on TV. And I think in time, there will be some evening out. A lot of people are probably going to get some form of this, but may never even know they have it. Just because you got the sickness doesn't mean you're necessarily going to get sick. Some people end up with flus and colds and other things and don't necessarily ever show symptoms. You build antibodies to it, eventually you should be immune, and from that standpoint, you don't really ever worry about getting it again. We're going through this transition together. The information that's out there, if it's coming at you from a fear-based, if it's scaring you, the information is probably not necessarily there to benefit you. People that are trying to share information that are beneficial generally try to put that spin of hope on it. Now, whether you hate hope, whether you think hope doesn't save lives, hope doesn't float, I don't know, whatever. I am of the adage that giving people hope, giving people something positive to think about, giving people a belief that things can and will get better is without a doubt, hands down, no questions asked in my mind, is way better than telling everybody the sky is falling, even if the sky is falling. I feel similar, and maybe this is, right or wrong or my problem, but kind of similar to the Titanic. I don't know if you've seen the movie. I wasn't actually there when the real boat went down. So based off the movie, they had the band playing, right? Like the boat's going down. The boat is sinking. And you've got the band playing music because they want the guests to at least have that. And I think that's kind of where I'm coming at from it, right? The band almost stopped playing. They're like, well, let's just go ahead and stop, guys. See if you can get in a lifeboat. And they're like, you know what? Let's play one more number. Let's play to the end. And it was just like, this is what we're here to do. This is what I'm here to do. I'm not here to preach fear. I'm not here to try to scare people. I'm not here to try to scare you into watching my videos. I'm here to try to help. I'm here to try to allow people to see beyond what is being told. I'm here, hopefully, to get people to go, maybe there is something positive that's going to come out of this. Maybe just for a second, they might get that glimmer that there's something positive that could come out of this. And when we allow ourselves just a glimmer of hope, just a smidgen of hope, all things become possible. When you feel like you're stuck behind the eight ball, when you feel like you've got no options available to you, when you feel like you're screwed, you don't want to try. You don't want to do. You don't want to be. You don't want to be a part of any of these things. And that doesn't benefit anybody. So again, whether us people that are trying to throw a little hope, sprinkle some powdered sugar on turds, try to make things a little better for mankind, give us a break if you can. We're trying. We're all living our own real lives. We've all got real problems. Just got to say goodbye to a whole bunch of people as we just laid off 1,600 people in my larger org. It's a challenging time right now, without a doubt. But you know what? I wake up every day and I try to see if there's a difference I can make with people. I wake up every day, I try to put a smile on the face of the people, at least the ones that are still left on my teams. When we said goodbye to people, trying to put a smile on someone's face as we're going through and having these difficult conversations. It's a time to remember that there is more to life. It's a time to remember that we create our own experiences. It's time to remember by imagining a better world, we create one. It's time to remember we're here to change the world. We're here to make a difference. Speaking of making a difference, tomorrow's April 4th, big time. The World Meditation is happening. There's times, I'll list them in the description below. I've done a couple videos on it, but I'll certainly list them in the description below, the times. And what it is it's a worldwide meditation. I'm not planning on doing it guided. It's just one, I want to enjoy the meditation. I want to experience the meditation, and I want to feel what everyone's feeling at that time. And I don't believe I can do that and do a live radio or a live YouTube to try to help people. So I do apologize for those of you that really wanted me to do that. I want to be a part of this meditation more than trying to capitalize on it or somehow get the views on my channel or any of that stuff. I will put a link below for one of the videos that I watched, and this company I think is doing a meditation, so you can certainly look and check out their channel. They're probably going to have some sort of guided meditation, and there's even, I'll put some instructions below on just the general gist of how this meditation is to go. But essentially, violet flame, trying to heal, and really we're trying to shift ourselves a little back. We're on the same timeline, but we're trying to shift the timeline to a little slightly more accelerated pace than what this coronavirus has caused us to slow down on. It's caused us to basically slow down the timing. Here's how it was like, and this will be the final thing I say for you, but this was a great analogy that I read someplace else. And for those of you, maybe hopefully you know chess, but chess is a neat little game where eventually you'll get to a point where you'll have checkmate, and that's the king can't move anywhere. He's basically going to get taken, right? And you don't necessarily ever take the king. You kind of do. It's the last move. But ultimately, when the king's taken, the game's over. You win. Once you kill the king, essentially. What's going on right now is there's essentially two very excellent chess masters playing each other. The cabal, if you will, or the deep state. And then you've got these patriots. We'll just call them that. I don't know how else to phrase it. But we've got the good guys and the bad guys. And they're both chess masters. And what's happened is the good guys and the bad guys have both looked at the chessboard and realized that the bad guys are going to be in checkmate in 7 moves. 7 moves. It's a guarantee. And not just does the cabal or dark side or bad people know that they're 7 moves away from checkmate, but the good guys also know that they're 7 moves away from taking their king. Period. No way around it. No ifs, ands, or buts. Nothing can change that. There are no moves that can be made on the board that could possibly alter the outcome. But what can happen is people can delay making moves. People can delay doing things that need to happen. We're 7 moves away from checkmate, but if I don't ever move, those 7 moves never occur, thusly checkmate never happens. So there's a bit of a forcing, I guess, going on right now that is meant to try to get some of these moves to happen and to get us back on the proper timeline, to essentially get the dark to finish off their last 7 moves so we can finally transition onto a new world, new energy, new planet, new everything, new life. Life is changing for the better for all of us. Life will be different on the other side of this. I'm not saying it's going to be rainbows every step of the way. There will be some challenges. There will be places we need to step up and stick together. And there will be some more of these worldwide meditations that I will ask my members, my family, to be a part of. This one is another one of those. There's been 3 of them. This is the 3rd that I have heavily promoted. A lot of these happen a lot more regularly than that. These 3 major ones have been important, I think, planetarily. So this is another one of those. This is a chance for us to make a difference. So many of us are like, what can I do? What can I do to make a difference? This is something you can do. When many people gather in anyone's name, there they will be, right? When 2 or more gather in my name, there I will be, so said Jesus Christ in the Bible. The same is true when you mass meditate, mass prayer. The amount of power that collectively goes towards that asking, that request that we are doing energetically. It's very powerful and extremely profound, and being a part of it is amazing. truly feels amazing. So hopefully it's at a time, or hopefully you don't mind waking up. Again, it's April 4th and 5th. For most of Europe on, it's going to be the 5th, and probably early in the morning onward. It depends where you're at. I believe it's happening at 9:45, 8:45, I think it is, Los Angeles time. Again, times are below. Please don't go off. I'm just going off the top of my head right now, but it's right around there. So a good chunk of like the Western world, United States basically, it's going to be on April 4th for us, and then I guess South America and all that, so we're all in the same time zone pretty much. And then April 5th for most of the rest of the world. So again, see the times below. Hopefully it'll help, but I'd love it if you guys can be there, be a part of this meditation, help bringing in that violet flame, help bringing in that healing energy towards the world, help shining the light on the land and trying to get us back into a healthier, happier place. And from there, we will transition. We will get those last 7 chess moves to occur. And we will finally have control of this planet again after a very long time and a very long struggle. I hope you guys will join me. I hope you guys are doing well. I certainly care about each and every one of you, and I try really hard to do daily videos. Sometimes it's a little hard to just talk about manifesting when we're going through this. And yes, I do believe on focusing on the positive and focusing on where we're going, and I think there's evidence of that within this video. But at the same time, not acknowledging the giant elephant in the room, right, is kind of not doing service to where we're all at right now together. So I don't want to just pretend that stuff doesn't exist and not look at it. And by not looking at it, I can manifest something else. Well, yeah, I'm still doing okay in my life, just like hopefully all of us are. But it's staying focused on where we're going and acknowledging where we're at to be able to make those changes. You manifest. We all manifested this world we're experiencing right now. We all created this. To just close our eyes and pretend it's not actually there is like creating a child and then ignoring them because you didn't mean to get pregnant. You can't do that. That's not okay. We created this. Let's fix it together. Let's heal through this together. Let's change this world together. Dan RadioStyle.